You are about to start the biggest journey of your life, and it starts today. My name's Chris, and I'm going through this process too, so I'm going to soundboard it with you because I'm a mental projector, and that's how we access our intuition. But as you hear these parts of the messages, see where you relate to the story and see how we can help one another process. And to start off, what I'm going to do is pull some cards from my Light Seers deck. This is always my simple way to just connect with your intuition. It's a simple way if you're able to look at the cards, because we're going through a lot right now. And in a sense of metaphysics, we have Saturn and Neptune conjunct in Aries at 1 degree, which is super dope. This is a really dope conjunction of structure and vision into the sign of Aries, which is action, initiation. We just had the Chinese New Year, so business is starting to boom. The year of the fire horse is here, which an important aspect in talking about the fire horse is, I think you really need to understand, like, the horse carries the chariot, right? So the snake, we peeled back layers. We had to identify hidden parts of ourselves that we needed to let go of just to come back to our true sense of self, to hop in the chariot and let the horse take us. Because I think the wild part about this fire horse is everybody's like, oh, I got to be running all over the place. And I think that's going to be the noise in this new reality, in a sense of, I think everybody's going to try to do stuff to keep up with the horse, but, my method that I'm going to really lean into, and I encourage you to do, is to let the horse take you where it wants to go. Like, the chariot is the fastest card in the tarot, but the chariot is also being led by the horse. And, if your horse will lead you to where you need to go, but it's your job to, be the steward of the chariot and the horse, take care of it. But also, if it gets going too fast or too slow, use the reins a little bit. And I think the greatest gift that you can do in this time is always, like, trust and surrender, the two hardest things. But as somebody who does this every day, I highly encourage you to endlessly observe, endlessly watch, make life a living meditation. It's a hard concept to understand, but when you get there, you're in this place called presence. And in presence, everything's magical. I can't describe this feeling to you. Everything's magical. Everything happens. You don't have to force anything. You don't have to know anything. All you have to do is trust, surrender, ask to receive, and when it shows up, receive it, and then work with it. Because in my own reality right now, this might relate to you too, it's not about doing the hard thing, the struggle, and knocking out things one by one. I'm endlessly looking for the biggest domino that knocks, however, all the other ones with one simple move. And I ask God, my spirit guides, the angels, ancestors, beings of light and love, to endlessly help me instead of forcing it upon myself. A big part I'm in is receiving right now. As a Pisces sun and moon, and it's Pisces season, I'm open to receive. And I ask my angels and spirit guides to guide me today, and we're doing tarot card pulls, so let's get to it. So I'll pull these cards and then I'll translate through myself. My simple method is I'm calling upon my angels of light and love, spirit guides, ancestors, God, anybody here to help me in this reality. May you transfer the messages through the cards to really help us today identify where we're at. I typically do 3 cards with an overall, but I always let my angels decide. So on the flip, we got the 7 of Wands first, and that tends to be the past energy for me. King of Cups in the center reverse, but I am feeling a little ungrounded today. There's a lot of things shifting, so I'm going to do Sananga after this. Oh, cool. Well, even better. So bottom of the deck, we got, cool. We got Rite of Passage. What is that? 6 of Swords. Sometimes I don't even know the numbers. I just know the pictures so well. So we're going through a Rite of Passage, and that feels so true, because the hardest part that you've been dealing with lately is probably your, if it relates to what I went through, was this sense of, like, the last month. I went through my Mercury retrograde ahead of time, and I know this, and I just completed it, but I went through this phase of, like, learning that my most sacred space is my own space. That is the overall message, and I can't translate that in any other way. It's the simplicity that I've created this Garden of Eden in my life, and it's my own energy, it's my own place. And for the last month, I went from Phoenix, living with a buddy. I had to go back to Kansas City to work with a client where I stayed with my mom, and then back to Austin and had a friend that was living here and moving here and accommodating that. But then it caught up to me as, like, oh my gosh, I have not had any time alone this past month. And it really started to slowly wear my nervous system down. And what I learned from it was how sacred my own energy is, how much I love my own energy, and how I've spent so much time creating my own place for my own energy and then allowing others to come into it. But as soon as they're using my nervous system to stabilize themselves, I eject and I push them out, and it happens very, in its own way, it's very magical, but it's not me getting mad at them. My nervous system is literally like, all right, now we're stabilizing our nervous system and somebody else's, and if somebody's not doing the work to stabilize their own, get out of my energy. And that's the nicest way to put it. And it's not like I'm like, get out, you're not welcome. It's just like, I'm providing stability for you, but if you're not providing stability for me, you need to figure out how to regulate yourself. And once you regulate yourself, you're welcome back into my energy, but otherwise, regulate yourself. And and it tends to be people who claim to be independent, but they're actually codependently becoming independent, which my energy does not like that. Maybe you can relate to that. It's like codependent energy and addictive energy of any sort feels ick. It makes me neurotic and I want to push away. It's that simple. And the cards are reflecting that. So we got the Seven of Wands, which is literally, I mean, the card showcases exactly what I kind of just said there. It's like, you know, somebody's sitting in their own aura, their own bubble, their own magic, their own, like they're protecting their space. And that's what I've learned, is how to protect my space and how sacred my space is. You can probably relate if you're watching this video. I love YouTube's algorithm for that. And then, and so the center card, which I'd say is our energy right now, is the boom, King of Cups reversed. And I mean, it's really like the masculine of the water, right? So it's masculine emotions. Let's go to the guidebook here, because King of Cups is a drama king, withdrawn, not in touch with emotions, being triggered, temperamental, an opportunity to work with the subconscious and dive into self-care. For me, I need to dive into self-care. I actually just came from the gym and the sauna. I got to work today. I got meetings. And to fully be transparent with you, is I've disconnected from helping anyone and everything, and I put myself in this bubble to receive and also knock out the stuff that I need to do, because I have so much I need to do, but not in a bad way that I'm triggered, but it's like I feel emotionally withdrawn because the people around me are sitting in my energy and wanting to be a part of my energy, but aren't contributing to my energy. So I'd say that's why I'm a little emotionally withdrawn. From my perspective, I'd love to hear what yours is and if that resonates, because, you know, we just had an eclipse, number one. So eclipses are like shedding back layers, and I think when we get triggered or stuff starts getting wonky, I think my number one tendency is to emotionally eject and come back to myself and use everything for myself, because I have a ton of gifts. Maybe you can relate to that. I have a feeling people who watch this channel are very gifted, multifaceted, conscious creators. You're an impact-driven entrepreneur. You understand metaphysics. You understand spirituality. You're probably a black sheep in your life. You're probably somebody who's different but understands everything. And people are like, who is this person? Like, they're so weird and different. Weird and different's the greatest gift I've ever had in this lifetime. I can definitely share that with you. Is like, it's probably one of the coolest energies once you honor it and you stop taking it personal, because you are so freaking unique, and your uniqueness will take you so far once you double down in it. And I want to share that with you too. Is yesterday I did a rapid transformational therapy, RTT, with my friend, and she has a different method for it, but we did simplicity, and all she did is ask me, and this is a fun exercise I encourage you to do, is, what did she ask me? She asked me, how do I like to show up for myself time and time again for 1 hour straight? And it was, I love to show up for myself with, you know, humility. I love to show up for myself through being humble. I love to show up for myself with playing with my gifts. I love to show up for myself by being creative, you know, curious. It's all the aspects of me, and it was a really cool exercise to see how much I love my own energy, how much I've created my own energy, how much healing work I've done, and how that's translated to stop putting other people first and put myself first, which is probably the core theme of this message as a whole. Is like, save your, you know, Seven of Wands, protect your space, protect your energy. King of Wands, when you feel, or King of Cups, when you feel emotionally disconnected, it's time to disconnect from those around you. So, and then this card is Seven of Pentacles. It's like, I feel like I'm building my empire right now, my legacy, like creating videos like this. Maybe you can relate. And then the Seven of Pentacles is like slow growth. It's taking time to grow and alchemize this. Take your time, have some fun, let it happen. Don't force it. It's a plant, water it, do what you do every day through consistency, and you'll see the results, because the overall energy is the Queen of Cups. That's some Pisces energy right there. I love my Pisces energy, Pisces Sun and Moon right here. But yeah, so it's essentially saying protect your space. Ooh, we're clearing that bubble out. So protect your space. You've created your Garden of Eden. It's up to you to protect it, and it's sacred to you. The King of Cups is more emotionally withdrawn. So when you get emotionally withdrawn, it's time to reconnect back to everything you've created for yourself and disconnect from those around you to stabilize. Seven of Pentacles is slow growth coming in. Don't force it. Apply it through authenticity, alignment, and do what you need to do through consistency to water that plant every day. And then Queen of Cups, you are in full authenticity and alignment. If you're a water sign, you're channeling the energy of water and flow and the feminine creation. And Queendom is able to receive and able to lead at the same time. So, man, that translates so much to the day, the life. And I'm excited to see these cards in this arrangement because today's energy is feels a little wobbly, and it's not something that, I gotta fix this real quick. It's not something that, we got a lot of sunlight coming in now. Look at that, we channeled the light, but it's like so we've learned to create our space and protect it. We're feeling emotionally disconnected right now, so we need to disconnect from those that are emotionally causing us to get turbulent, because I think anybody watching this video has a really strong nervous system and you know how to operate it. It's just whether you allow people in or out of it. And also I'd say if you allowed somebody in your nervous system and it didn't destabilize you, but it's allowing you to grow your nervous system of supporting yourself and others, which I think is an upgrade. So if you're in that place, like, you definitely upgrade it, and it's like you just, like, maybe you let your boundaries fade away a little bit, or you're calibrating them, but through the process you upgraded your nervous system, which is the greatest gift you could give yourself, and then also provide stability for somebody else. But once it was taken advantage of, you're like, disconnect. All right, good, back to my energy. Maybe you can relate to that. And the Queen of Cups is like, she protects her energy. She is an authority. She's creative. She's a muse. She's intuitive. She goes with divine flow. She's able to give and receive, but receives more than she gives, which is, I think, the art of anybody following this message. Is like, you really need to dive in to receive. When you open the door up to receive, literally, whether it be from God, your spirit guides, your ancestors, your friends around you, business partners, investors, whatever it is, like, open yourself up to receive. And whether somebody wants to give you $75 or, whether you're needing help and assistance, like, don't be afraid to ask for it. Like, everybody around us is an immediate access to help in our lives. We just have to, number one, be open to receive, sometimes create that initiation, or let them know what we're struggling with and see if they invite themselves to help us. If you're a projector like I am, I do not create invites. I simply share very openly what I'm feeling, how I'm operating, and then others naturally attract when I need help, to either balance out reciprocity of helping them, or somebody magically in my life has some free time and I'm like, hey, let me create an invite towards you. So, but as a whole, guys, this is a really good energy of, like, just honoring yourself, staying in your own divine flow, being an authority and presence for others, but also not sacrificing yourself and your energy and helping others. Because number one, too, this is the most important lesson I learned this week was, it's okay to accommodate and hold space for others, but at the point that they start sucking your energy and starting to destabilizing you, it's time to eject. Yes, it did help grow your nervous system, but it's not your responsibility. And, it's one thing to help somebody through a lesson, but also keep in mind that the lessons that you've learned were your greatest teachers. So don't rob those lessons from other people. Allow them to go through their own process and be a resource for them, but you don't have to go through the lesson for them. You don't have to help them avoid the lesson, because the lesson's the greatest teacher. We've all walked through our lessons. We've all been through hardships. That's what made us who we are and how we show up. And the people in our lives are going through those same lessons and processes to show us how much we've grown. But we need to allow them to go through it and act as a resource or something that they can communicate with or be open to help with if they're willing. But if they're not, then fully disconnect and allow them to go through the process, because it's the greatest gift you can give them in this lifetime. All right, y'all, that's going to be the end of this video. Thank you so much for watching. Make sure you subscribe to this channel. And if you're interested in anything unseen to be more seen, be sure to join my free school community called Enoch by Chris. It's going to be the top comment in the link below. I'm excited to have anybody there. I share definitely all my YouTube videos and stuff in the community first, and then upload them to YouTube. But I endlessly want to provide value with everything unseen, because I use it endlessly in my life to navigate where I never have to plan. I'm in always full trust, surrender, and flow. And it's the funniest thing, but everybody around me is like, how does he do it? And I simply show you in this community everything I go through, every transformation, every process, everything that I find out, from numerology to human design to astrology, and putting it all together and building a high vibe magical life with everything you do. That's what the community is about. It's also the pipeline for my offer, the channel, which is where I'm working with 12 founders over the next 2 years through a joint venture to help them create more by doing less, to build out ecosystems, digital infrastructure, school communities, YouTube channels, you name it, we do it there. I'd love to have you there as well. But to get in that offer, you have to first be in Enoch, which is my free school community. So let's join there. Let's connect. Excited to meet you, and peace out till next time.